Good evening and welcome to our final edition of the School Zone for the 2005-2006 school year. I am your host, Renugan Raidoo. Tonight we begin our final journey with a look at a reader's theater. This spring, Sioux Falls took part in the Big Read. To Kill a Mockingbird was the chosen book. Students at Lincoln High School, under the direction of teacher Chris Hayes, performed this play for their fellow students.
Good morning. My name is Jean Louise, but when I was that girl there, I was called Scout.
Scout, where are you? Scout, I told you to come here.
That's our cook, Calpurnia. My mother died when I was 2 and she raised us.
You hear me, Scout? I'm watching for Atticus.
Atticus, that's my father.
My name is Christine Hayes, and I'm a teacher at Lincoln High School. In the month of March and the beginning of April, South Dakota became a part of what was called the National Big Read. Each state picked a piece of literature, and throughout their communities, they tried to involve as many people as possible in reading that piece of literature and sharing that piece of literature. South Dakota selected To Kill a Mockingbird. And in our community, we had a number of activities throughout, as I said, March and April. And I worked with Rosella Blunk on an adaptation of To Kill a Mockingbird for theater. We did it downtown with adults playing the parts, and then we brought it into the high school. In the high school, we had a troupe of approximately 20 students, and with very limited rehearsal time, but a great deal of dedication and skill, we had these young people present what you're about to see, To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee.
The trial started Monday. Atticus told us to stay home, and for a while we did. People were streaming into town like it was Saturday. It seemed like the whole county was coming for Tom Robinson's trial.
I'm Maggie Van Bakker, and I'm a senior at Lincoln High School, and I was chosen to play Jean Louise Finch, also known as the adult scout. She was sort of the narrator of To Kill a Mockingbird, and I was extremely excited to participate in Reader's Theater because I love the book To Kill a Mockingbird, and I love Reader's Theater, and I've done it many times before.
Okay, you've been involved in acting at Lincoln High School. Can you tell me the difference between doing it, reading from a script as opposed to memorizing?
I like memorizing a lot more than reading from a script because it makes it more realistic to me, but I think that all the actors did a wonderful job with what they had with their scripts, and but in my opinion, I like memorizing a little bit more than reading.
Mr. Finch, I was going home as usual that evening, and when I passed by the Yule place, Miss Mayella was on the porch like she said she would. She called me to come in and help her a minute. Well, I went inside the fence and looked for some kindling to work on, but I didn't see none. She said, "No, I got something for you to do inside the house. The old door's off its hinges." Well, I went up the steps and she mentioned for me to come inside. Then she shut the door. Mr. Finch, I was wondering why it was so quiet. Like it come to me there weren't a child in the place, not one of them. And I said, "Miss Mayella, where are the children?"
Hi, my name's Gary Kashali, and I was chosen by Tom Robinson in Reader's Theater's To Kill a Mockingbird. When we read the actual book during my sophomore year, I really didn't grasp or really understand much of the concept that Harper Lee was trying to convey, but when I actually got to do in Reader's Theater, I really started understanding more about the book and really more about the character himself, so it kind of opened up to me more as I did the play.
Who beat you up? Tom Robinson or your father? Miss Mayella, what did your father really see in that window? Why don't you tell the truth, child? Didn't Bob Ewell beat you up?
I got something to say.
Well, I'm Dustin Jackson. I'm a junior, and I was cast as Atticus Finch. It was a real challenge to play because I am nothing like him in real life. I'm not nearly as well-read and nowhere near as winded as Atticus. So some of the extensive lines with a bunch of vocabulary that I had absolutely no idea how to pronounce or what it meant got pretty challenging.
What did you think of the character of Atticus Finch and how he was portrayed in the book?
I never really got much of a clear vision of him in the book, but certainly in the movie, I kind of got the feeling that he was a very smart man, didn't miss a thing, and felt that what needed to be done had to be done.
Let's go in and sit with Jim.
All those ideas we had about Blue Redlin, Mr. Atticus, he's real nice.
Most people are, Scout, when you finally see them.
Terry Redlin Elementary School took part in local Arbor Day festivities. This was a special time since retired physical education teacher Judy Jasper played a big role in the new Mary Jo Wegner Arboretum. Principal Ruth Metcalf will explain.
Well, today is really an exciting day. I am so honored to introduce Judy Jasper to our audience and to say thank you to her for what she has been able to make possible here at the Mary Jo Wagner Arboretum. Our third graders from Terry Redlin have been talking about this day and preparing for this day, and we just couldn't have been more excited to be a part of it. This will be stories that our kids will tell to their grandchildren when they bring them to this park and see those beautiful bur oak trees in a few years. And it's a legacy that Judy and her family is leaving for the school children of Sioux Falls. And what greater legacy could there be? Trees and parks and kids go together.
My pleasure to introduce to you Candy Hansen from the Sioux Falls Community Foundation, who along with Mr. Wagner and his family donated money for a brand new park east of town. And that park will be for you and your parents to enjoy over the many, many years. And I'm going to let Candy tell you just a little bit about that park.
And it's going to be a very little bit because we need to get this tree planted and out of the rain. But an arboretum is a very special kind of park. It's a park that really focuses on building up all kinds of different trees, and especially the trees that were here long before people ever came. The stem that you see there, that leaf is the leaf of a bur oak tree. And your third grade classmates planted 4 of those. Help plant 4 of those today. The Arboretum is also special because it's in a little town that used to be called East Sioux Falls.
The reason this is special for me is that when this school opened about 6 years ago, I taught here. And so when I met with the city this year and they asked me to be on the committee, they asked me to select a school in Sioux Falls. And it's the first time that a grade school, middle school, or high school has ever been asked to come and dedicate a brand new park in the city of Sioux Falls. And I chose Terry Redlin because of the wonderful, wonderful students at this school. Let's give them a hand.
Now, we have some poems that our third grade students are going to read to us while we finish with a few more shovels. So third graders with your poems. I'll hold you just go ahead and start reading.
Trees by Sierra. Trees are beautiful and sometimes wet. They grow from seeds, bottom to top. When you play hide and seek outside, you can always hide behind a tree. When it rains, you can use a tree as an umbrella. But it is nice to have a couple of trees all around. But you cannot have a tree in your house. Sometimes when trees die, you can always plant more seeds. In woods, there are a lot of trees. They will always be beautiful in my life.
Thank you. Let's give her a hand.
Every bird, plant a tree, save the earth.
Oh, that's so good. I want you to read that again.
Every bird, plant a tree, save the earth.
Thank you so much. Now, boys and girls, this is a rainy day for us, but it's a great day for a tree. Trees need rain in order to grow and thrive, so the symbol of the rain today will remind us of that. That's one of the things, along with our help, this will become a great tree for you to remember Terry Redlin Elementary School.
Jane Addams School Home of the Family Immersion Center and All City Elementary joined together to take part in a special art project created by Ethiopian artist Eyob Margeya. Let's find out more.
It was a concept that was really brought to me by a group of parents and said, is there something we could do artistic-wise, but to be able to tie the two programs together? And that got a committee of parents, teachers, and Robin Ruskowski, our art teacher, recommended Eyob, given that his experience would probably mirror some of what family immersion students have experienced in the past. And so by pulling that all together, and the concept, it was loosely organized for a while, but it came together as handprints are unique and tying them all together into one large piece. And Eyob is a master of creating large, beautiful pieces of artwork, and he did another nice job with this one.
Your squares that you're making, this was Eyob's idea. You're going to use part of your hands. So here's an example of one. Now, it doesn't look exactly like a hand, does it? No. What's that called when you can't really tell what it is? Do you remember that word? It's called abstract. Have you heard of abstract before?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Where if you were looking really close, you might realize, oh my gosh, a lot of those lines and textures that I see in there look like a handprint, but it's not going to look like our whole entire hand. So the first thing we're going to be doing is selecting the part of the hand that we want to use.
Ben immigrated to Sioux Falls in 1997. His story is fairly consistent with what students in the Family Immersion Center have experienced. During the visit to his studio, Eugen was actually able to communicate with several students from Ethiopia in their native language. Student buddy groups from ACE and FIC visited the studio of Eugen where he does work to experience what it's like to be in a real artist studio, also to see the place where Eugen would be working on the completed project. As the committee members, Eugen and staff members from ACE and FIC met, the idea of using the students' hands to express their desire to show unity and togetherness through our differences, and each handprint is unique, was conceived and expanded. All right, this large piece of artwork that you've seen part of and the making of here has been donated to All City and Family Immersion Center here in Addams, and we're going to pull the curtain back if this works the way it should and unveil the artwork. And Eugen, I'd like you to come back up again. Very happy, to do this, you guys, with you. It's a new experience, for me too, and thank you very much.
Well, just the first we start discussion like how the student after the school is done, how they remind themselves here, how they're gonna be together. So we trying to create some kind of different kind of language, which is like a form, how they are writing about themselves, and also it's the sound, creating a sound is a word, and we start from here.
And the process, how long did it take you to pull that together?
It's kind of like 2 months, but the hardest part, it's like to create, what the student done and what kind of idea and collaborating those two ideas and creating this kind of new form of art.
Have you ever done a project like this?
This is actually, I never work with a student, but I work in so many different kind of mural art. But this is a kind of new way of art, for me too. That's what I feel.
And to have that in the school, what does that mean to you, to leave your artwork here in this building?
Well, just you can see it in different ways. Like the first thing is working together with a student. I'm taking even new knowledge from child art. Also, I'm giving them some kind of composition form. What is the meaning of real art? Even this is a very big level. It might be in a history of art. When you see like Pablo Picasso and Jackson Pollock, they done so many things. But this is a new level of art. This is a new form. Well, just people's, I want to, people's, they understand what's my goal, what's my plan. It's not about a business or something. This is about, raising, culture, the community. And I like Sioux Falls, and also, I'm creating, some kind of new spirit, new knowledge spirit, like this. This is example, for Sioux Falls. I hope so.
Very good. The first time I saw it, I was floored. It was amazing that he'd be able to tie those concepts all together in the pieces of work. And I knew he had asked us to print the hands in primary, secondary colors, but I did. In my mind, I'm not much of an artistic thinker, I guess, but I never thought that he would be grouping the colors together and then putting them in the way he did. And I just love the way he tied in another traditional or another very famous piece of work that's on the Sistine Chapel ceiling there, and being able to tie that all together and reference that. I think it'll just tie into the students' artistic abilities as well as their artistic concepts that they've studied in classroom and other places as well.
Good working relationship that you've created with you.
Oh yeah, terrific, terrific. I understand his plans might be taking him outside of Sioux Falls, and we hate to see that, but I guess we have a lasting piece of work that's here for us to always remember our experiences together this year, and it has been a great joy to work together with him.
Recently, Eugene Field Elementary invited students and local people to visit their special wax museum. Let's take a look.
Oh, this is such a difficult hand. I don't know what to do. I call. Oh, hello. What if someone helped you in a stagecoach and you were being robbed? Well, Wild Bill did that. I was born May 27th, 1837. My real name is James Butler Hickok. My parents and I were Baptists. When we had to go to church, I had to wear uncomfortable clothing. My parents also worked for the Underground Railroad. My parents and I didn't really get along, so on my 18th birthday I left to find a job. I was a stagecoach driver and a sheriff because I caught outlaws and great gun skills. When I heard about the Civil War, I volunteered for the Union Army to be a scout. After the war, I was a marshal. I quit the job because I accidentally killed my friend. When I wanted to go to Deadwood because I wanted to make quick money. And then, while I was there, I met Calamity Jane. We became very good friends. When I was there, I got shot by Jack McCall, this young man. And then, while I was playing poker in saloon number 10. And the dead man's hand is a pair of aces and a pair of eights. Well, I better get back playing before they quit.
I'm Susan Quello. I am a 5th grade teacher with my teaching partner, Ruth Gertner, and we are doing our Wax Museum presentation, which is a summary of our social studies standards throughout the entire year. We study a timeline that starts with Native Americans and goes through the Industrial Revolution. During that time, the kids are constantly studying and researching, but we, to summarize the entire year, allow the students to choose one significant person to them throughout the year. They do research on them. They get prepared to act out that person of history following the South Dakota state standards, and which is about 5 different areas of that person's life that they research. And the students today have put a lot of effort into it. They are doing, they did their own costuming, their own scripts and props and backgrounds. And they also did their own marketing for people to come. They did all their invitations all the way up from the President of the United States to our local mayor. And the students have been really excited about today. To help the other students in school learn, we made up a worksheet for them to follow, which is following the 5 things that are focused on in our social studies standards, which is getting to know someone's customs, cultures, beliefs, backgrounds, and even down to what they are wearing during their era and what they eat. So the students are walking around recording what they are learning from their peers, our classmates.
I love to hunt and explore. Oh, hello, my name is Meriwether Lewis. I was in the middle of talking to Clark for the very first time in history. We are planning a trip on the sea. We are going to find land. This is a very important trip. We have to find land. My homeland is Virginia. I quit school at the age of 18, the year of 1774. I believed in the military. I was famous for discovering some of the first land in some of the first American territory. Here are some of the foods I ate. I eat pork, fish, and wild game. Well, that's my story. Better get back to talking to Clark.
Students at Whittier Middle School studied about diversity. At the end of their studies, they held a special program to learn more about embracing our differences.
Good afternoon,
Team 7-3. Welcome to our Multicultural Reading Day. This day is similar to our Read Across America Day that we celebrated in March to honor Dr. Seuss's birthday. Our focus is to recognize diversity and the diversity that exists in our school and in our community. We chose today because it's Cinco de Mayo Day, which means, in Spanish, 5th of May. On May 5th, 1862, Mexican soldiers won a famous battle against the French army that is much like our Independence Day of the 4th of July. In our school, our students speak approximately 40 different languages in their homes. On our team, we have students representing the following diversity groups: Vietnam, Laos, Bosnia, Croatia, Ukraine, Russia, Armenia, Belarus, Yemen, Sudan, Mexico, Eritrea, and Native American. Even students born in the United States have ancestors in different countries, such as German, Norway, Denmark, France, Sweden, Ireland, just to mention a few. In preparation for today's activities, the social studies classes talked about what diversity means to each of us and how it affects all of us. Today, we have guest readers that will share a book and their thoughts with us.
Okay, I have the honor of introducing our first guest. This is Irina Gabanova. She used to work more at Whittier, and now she's up at Washington High School. And she came to the United States from Russia, so I'm going to give her the opportunity to tell you about her experience and what she does with our school district.
Well, first of all, I would like to greet you, and I would like to greet you in my language. I would like to say "Здравствуйте," which means "How do you do?" Is it right to repeat it? "Здравствуйте." Okay, an easier word will be hello, and that will be "Привет." Could we say together "Привет"? Привет. Let's try again. "Привет." Привет. Sioux Falls has changed a lot since I came here 15 years ago. But maybe a little bit before I start about the changes and how I'm related to the school, why it's so important to me, I would like to say that back in Russia, I was born in a big city. I was born and raised in what is the biggest city in the Soviet Union in Russia? Very good. Wow, what a good class. Yes. I was born and raised in Moscow, and at that time it was, what was the population, you think? Like 1 million, 2 million, 3 million?
5 million.
It was 8 million people, and now it's almost 9 million people.
Hi, I'm Marshall McKaylee. I'm in 7th grade at Whittier Middle School. And in this past week, we've been talking about diversity in our classes, and we've been talking about what diversity is. It's not just the race of people, it's where they come from, what they do. And today we're reading in all our core classes, and we were at an assembly today talking about diversity, and we had 2 guest speakers, someone from the USSR and another person from Africa. It was pretty interesting.
Hi, my name is Jenny Lamb. I'm a 7th grader at Whittier Middle School, and we've been talking about diversity and culture, and for the past week, we've been talking about culture and different languages and the stuff that is from different cultures that we don't do here, or different things that have an effect on us or other cultures. In social studies, we're talking about the different languages of all the countries that we've studied and how it has an effect on us, mainly like Russia and Africa and countries that are across the sea besides the United States.
Hi, my name is Yodi Berhe. I'm a 7th grader and I go to Whittier Middle School. And today we've been talking about different cultures. Like my mom, she's from another country over in Africa, and she speaks another language, which I also do. And we have different customs than Americans here do. And we do a lot of different stuff, and like the food we eat, it's a lot different.
Can you say in your other language, can you tell us have a nice day, goodbye, have a nice day?
The way you say how are you today is you can say Kamelahi, and that's to a girl, and Kamelaha is to a boy. And then if you're gonna say hi, then you say salam, or there's like a dress we do, like we shake hands and then go cheek to cheek and like 3 times, and that's like about it.
That is all for this year's edition of The School Zone. We at K-Learn TV wish for you a safe and enjoyable summer, and we hope you will return next year as we once again journey into the school zone. Good night.